Gentlemen, we have ACS versus Munch. So let's see. For the side of ACS, we're going Gearing, Vampire, Moskva, Stalingrad, Des Moines, and we're seeing a Gudenlu, recently one of my favorite ships to play, and then Kremlin, Ohio. And then for the side of Munch, Gearing, Ragnar, Yu Yang, Salem, Brisbane, Moskva, Venezia, Ohio. So, let's see how they go. Let's go to the overview and watch for a little bit while they get in.
Freedom, but because we practice it.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we watch this push in here, Ragnar and Yu Ying going towards A and B. A little bit of a slow early push. And then for the side of ACS, Vampire heading into B, Gearing splitting the caps, Guding heading over to A. Interesting that the Guden's heading over to A. Actually, no, it makes sense the more I think about it. Guden heading over to A works out because you put in a position where it can use its 13-kilometer airdrop range to drop airstrikes on any ships that try to stay on islands. Little bit of damage at a time can make a big difference, especially in dislodging them and putting them into the guns of your bigger ships. Heavy push for Munch coming out towards C. I'm just excited, like I said. I love seeing a Gudenlu. I like to see the changes and like the different setups. So as we watch, we'll keep an eye out to see how stuff goes. It seems like a very slow push at the beginning right now. Very cautious as compared to some of the games we've seen recently. Okay, let's see how this goes, ladies and gentlemen, as it continues to move forward. I mean, it's been very cautious on the moves right now. There's really not been much to speak about. The teams are still positioning up 3 minutes into the game, getting out to the extent. Now we're going to start to see Lord Flatang versus Eladrigel. Bleh, I'm sure I just butchered that pronunciation. Fighting here at A. And then we see the Vampire Ragnar is about to go, as the Ragnar is going to consider going for the... Does he have a dodge line here? It's going to be really tight on if he has a dodge line. He just, wow. Really lucky he has the dodge line. Kremlin shots miss. Vampire's trying to get the cap, but the Ragnar radar, or not the Ragnar radar, pardon me, he's not, it's the Moskva radar, is going to force them out. Vampire backs off, gets away, but is unable to claim the cap before he gets pulled off by the... radar from the Moskva, which still has 10 seconds left. Does start to take damage. Gearing and Yu Yang. Venezia took a chunk down to 12k there. Gearing and Yu Yang ran into each other. A little bit of damage there. But now the fight starts. Moskva takes some damage to the nose. Vampire down to 17k. Has gone dark, but he's got to be careful because the Ragnar radar is always there and threatening. As the Ragnar backs in to start claiming B. And so the damage is ticking in now. B being capped by the Ragnar, so that'll start the ticking for Munch. They take the early advantage. Keep an eye on these torps. Brisbane should dodge them easily. Yeah, he's not in position with them and with the Hydro. But points finally start going. This has been a very, very slow game. Very calculated, very slow. Venezia taking some damage on the edge. Smokes up to go dark. Interesting use of that. Not sure how I feel about that smoke at that position timing. But we'll keep an eye out and watch what goes on here. So then we've got Ohio, Ragnar, Moskva. Kremlin starting to take some damage, down to 84,000. 24,000 health been chunked off him. He's looking for damage onto that Moskva. He's just not getting it onto DS Fighter right now. Cap A is taken. Here comes the Yu Yang push in. Now, Moskva been taking about half health and damage. Gearing does get the cap. Yu Yang's in to contest. Venezia gonna lace the shells out. But now that Yu Yang has to be very careful because he is in a prime spot to get absolutely destroyed for trying to take it. And gearing torps are coming in pretty quickly, sir. You sir, do not look like you're in a spot you want to be. You're gonna take that one, and the gearing torp just deletes Lord Flatting. First blood, 6.5 minutes in to the side of ACS. And that's big, because now the gearing redirects. The Moskva can stay out there to keep the Venezia, but now you can redirect that gearing in to give yourself an advantage. And here come those Guden Lu bomb drops. Let's see if he takes any. Takes about 2k from them, but it does force him out. Now the Guden Lu is pushed up into a position trying to use that large island for cover from the Ohio while they force ships out. Does it work? Well, he's still at 52,900 health, so I'd say it's working so far. But yeah, this was a really big kill to get, because like I said, Moskva can just sit there denying the Venezia. You can even start to move the Moskva over if you want. Gearing can come across now to allow the Vampire to get some relief and allow the shift of the ships. Challenge is you cannot lose control on C. If you lose C, either side, and let the other side, the enemy team, move towards B, you're in a really rough spot. Guden Lu of Porco Rosso now getting chunked. Ragnar of Torpenson has been really doing work in his position. And Porco might be trapped, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, they're going to keep launching shells in onto the Moskva. Moskva taking some damage, but I do think that Moskva's... I think that, yeah, that goon's gone. 1,300, doesn't have the DCP, doesn't have a heal. Munch gets the kill back to give themselves some more, and they get C. Gearing now down to 9,000. Brisbane doesn't have radar, but is got Hydro. Brisbane turning, he takes some shots down to 40,000. Ohio looking and Des Moines looking. They want to murder him. Down to 33,000, but Brisbane getting away with good health still. And a 2-1 lead for the side of Munch. They're up about 70 points right now. Oh man, those gearing torps did work. Ragnar takes one down to 14,000. Ohio takes 3. And he's down to 59,000 in healing. And that's big to get the Ragnar. Ragnar's going to look to rotate over to A, especially with the Moskva now pushing up of Kremis, which is... I would not have pushed that Moskva up, but he's going to push up and challenge onto that Venezia. The Venezia is just going to keep kiting and running. But that is going to give the chance to the gearing to take C. You've got to get rid of the Moskva radar, which is ready. But other than that, you're now in a primed position. You keep forcing the Moskva back. He's just ricocheting all of those shots that are coming in on him right now, which feels really rough. Ohio of Sanasi gets Moskva of Krem. We were worried about that with that push, and he doesn't manage to get himself into cover in time. And so now it's a 2-ship to 1 lead and almost 250 points for the side of Munch as Munch starts to push in. And ACS desperately needs to dislodge this Moskva. This Moskva's positioning and not taking a lot of damage has just been brutal. It's preventing the side of ACS from getting what they want done because these ships are trapped. And now with the Moskva having pushed out and died, Venezzi's going to get Crossfire and the Ragnar's going to be able to take A, and you still haven't gone into B. They're desperately trying to get that Moskva. Shots it on the Moskva. He gets chunked from downtown by the Ohio, and that's what they need. No heal yet ready yet. Heal will be ready in a second, but it doesn't matter because you can outpace the heal, and as soon as you get the fire, he's hosed. Torps are just gonna miss. But you can see what I'm talking about. The shot's coming in now. Moskva hasn't been able to go dark. And even with the heal, he's getting ticked down. There's the perma-fire that I talked about. That'll bring him down to 5k easily. Heal is done in 5 seconds. The gearing of Mastiff dies out wide here to the Brisbane radar. And the Ohio of Morhadi is going down pretty soon. Man, every time it feels like ACS is getting something they can use and turn into an advantage they can work with. Munch just has that counterpunch ready. Ohio of Morhadi is just about to go, and he does go down to the fire, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 4-1 ship lead. The Moskva finally goes down to Morhadi's shots after he died, but even with a 4-2 ship lead, make that a 5. It's now a 5-2 ship lead for the side of Munch. Munch is just working and throttling ACS out of this game. It's just constant, ready and adapting to whatever move ACS has been putting in there. And now, Tambot, the next focus target. Brisbane's going to have a little bit of a challenge trying to get him, but the Salem's going to have the broadside. Salem's shots are in. They don't hit on the first set. But they do hit on the second set, and now the Des Moines knows he's in a world of hurt because he's got a Salem looking at him in the nose, and he's beached, ladies and gentlemen. And with that beach, there's the delete. The gearing of Elageral dies. The Des Moines of Tamboteo dies. 45 seconds to victory, and Munch has claimed game 1 of this best of 2. Just 30 seconds left, but there's nothing that ACS can do. This is Munch's game at this point, ladies and gentlemen. 20 seconds left. Shots out just for the final thing. Maybe the Kremlin kills the Ohio here, buys them a little bit of time. No, he is unable to. Only gets 16k. Wait. Oh, and the Kremlin's last shots miss. And 6 seconds left, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and Mr. Jeeb. They return fire on him. They get Mr. Jeeb, and ladies and gentlemen, that will confirm it. Munch does take game 1, and they go up in the best of 2, 1-0.